Welcome back to 843 TV, coming to you today on location from the Waterfall farm on the beautiful Spring Island. Joining us now is Jim Basara. He is the lead volunteer out here in charge of the garden project. Jim, thank you for having us out here today.
It's my pleasure.
It's a beautiful morning, fall morning, and on that note, it's prime time for crops, certain crops. This is quite an operation you've got out here.
It is.
Many acres, a lot of people involved. Share with us how it works.
That's not too complicated. We have a couple of professionals that happen to be on our community maintenance staff. The Taylor brothers, they've been around farms their entire lives. They have a farm of their own. And they do the heavy lifting, the tractor work that none of us are really skilled to be able to do, or the rows would not be this straight if we tried to do them ourselves. And beyond that, we have a whole slew of volunteers that we organize around different activities. When it's planting season, which was just in the past few weeks, we have what we call planting parties, and we'll come out and we'll put in anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 plants at a time. Currently there's about 4,000 plants in. And then subsequent to that, every Tuesday we have hoeing day, and we all meet out here at 08:30. And we take care of whatever hoeing, weeding needs to be done to keep the garden looking clean and certainly optimizing the growth of the plants.
Now you mentioned volunteers, but they're actually residents of the community. So share how
all
that
the
works.
Volunteers are residents, people who, some people love cooking, some people just love gardening, and others just come out for the social aspect of it. You get 20, 30 people out here in the community, you see people that you haven't seen before, new members that have just recently joined that enjoy gardening, so it's quite an activity.
So when the crops are ready, and why don't we take a walk?
Sure.
And since you've got quite a few here that are flourishing right now, when the crops are ready, who gets to use them? Are they used for the residents, the restaurant?
Both. The residents can come and pick whenever they want, and the restaurant takes advantage of certainly the things we plant a lot of, cauliflower, broccoli, and so forth. So both constituencies get to enjoy it as much as they want, and at the end of the season, they all get together and cry because they're no longer available anymore.
Well, let's take a little walk more and tell us what we've got here. For those of us who may not know a green from a turnip from a carrot, how do we know what we've got growing here?
Well, at this point, most people don't. So because it's not pickable, but we have in the fall garden, which is what you see here. We normally plant 2 gardens a year: a spring garden and a fall garden. The fall garden is mostly leafy vegetables and root vegetables. So you have in the front there cabbage and broccoli. On the left side you have several different cabbages. Back here we have Brussels sprouts, bok choy, more cauliflower, and to our left here was some things that we planted by seed, things like beets, carrots, parsnips, different kinds of kales.
Now, I understand there's a newsletter that goes out to the residents when the crops are ready. Share with us about that.
There is. We do at least weekly emails where we try to do, the emails are really geared around 2 different things. First, informative, so we tell people what the status of the farm is, and this goes to anybody, not just the people that volunteer, but anybody on the island that wants to be part of the email list. Tell them what the status is, what can be picked, what can't be picked. Try to educate them on the vegetables as well. But then there's another aspect of the email that is really meant to build excitement around getting people out here to get involved and to utilize the farm, because it is an amenity, just like the fitness center or the golf course, and we want to maximize utilization and we want people to be excited about it. So we include a lot of recipes, an introduction to vegetables that they may not be familiar with, like bok choy, which is relatively new for us. We have lemongrass growing in the back. These are ingredients that a lot of home cooks haven't used before and might be a little bit afraid to engage with. So we try to explain to them how easy it is to use and what the advantages are of having it fresh, and encourage them to get out here and pick.
This is great, and you kind of took the words out of my mouth. A lot of communities have, as you do too, golf and water sports, and you actually have the gardening aspect is some activity that you can get engaged in in a full way. You even mentioned that some of the artists did some neat signs.
They did. So we did have some confusion, people coming out not really being confident. If I send an email and says you can pick this but don't pick that,
Right.
what is, how do they locate it? So we have a thriving arts program here on Spring Island, as you know, and we engaged a painters group, and they've been doing some absolutely wonderful work, painting very artistic signs, anywhere from serious and art renditions of the plant itself to whimsical things, representing their own personal painting style. And it's gotten so popular that once the signs are up and we put them up when we don't use the tractor any longer, people will come out just for their morning walks, and they'll walk through the garden and look at all the art, and it's sort of an outdoor art exhibit.
That's some fabulous stuff. And you shared with me earlier that you're actually native of the DC area and just moved here 2 years ago, so it's quite a change for you. What are the key things that brought you here?
Well, this is a big one. When we were doing our research to find communities that we thought might be right for us, I'd been in gardening. My wife and I both love to cook, and the more we grew our own ingredients, the more it enhanced the whole cooking experience for us. So I was surfing around looking at places and found Spring Island, and then saw the farm, and that put it right at the top of our must-see list.
And here you are.
And here we are.
Well, wow, this is some great stuff. It was a beautiful day, and we're going to stay here at Spring Island and talk to some more folks here about the wonderful community garden. So stick around, we'll be right back.